Hi YouTube. It's been a while since I've made a new video kind of that's politically based, and I thought that maybe today might be a good time. I've been really trying to stay away from politics recently, but it seems that no matter what you do, it's very difficult in today's day and age, just as the news is everywhere. So today when I was at work, I overheard some of the trial that was going on for to try to push impeachment upon Trump. And something came to me very clearly, and it is, I would say it is a theory, but for me, it's the only thing that actually makes sense out of all of what is going on at this moment, the more deeper conspiracy that's going on. I think everybody knows that there's a conspiracy going on, but we can't actually put our fingers on it. And so, in my opinion, this is the deeper conspiracy that's actually going on behind the scenes. And I think that one day it'll be proven true, even though I can't prove it at this moment. That's just sort of the way that my mind works, is that since I'm a kind of a historian / analyst, I just basically incorporate new data that's coming in, and then my mind will actually automatically come up with a new solution or something closer to the truth. And so for me here, basically what separates this theory from other people's theories is this. So basically, it blows my mind that this trial is even going on. There's such little evidence of what the Democrats are claiming, and why would they even be pushing for it if it's such a small chance of it actually going through? Because what must occur is the Democrats have to actually push the impeachment to the Senate, and the Senate has to come to a 2/3 majority on their vote to impeach him, then goes to the Supreme Court. So I ask myself, I say, this seems so far-fetched and it seems so impossible for this to actually occur. Why would they be going along with it if it seems so far-fetched from actually occurring? And then I thought about it, and I've known from the time that Trump was elected, I thought that he did not actually believe that he was going to be elected. And I think that in reality, he didn't really want the job in the first place. But once he was elected, he said, oh, this is great, whatever, I'm going to be the president, this is going to be wonderful. And so he's done his role. I think he was ordered to run for president, but I don't think that he knew that he was going to be elected. And thus, basically, they've gotten away and they've done everything that they needed under Trump. And now they are basically trying to impeach him for a number of reasons. But one of the major things is that they know that he can't lose 2020. Basically, he's too strong. His base is too strong. Thus, the only way that they can actually win 2020 is by impeaching him now. And so, basically, what differentiates my theory from other people's theory is I believe that Donald Trump is actually in on the impeachment. Actually, he's the one that gave the order to William Barr and to his other cabinet members and to his military and to the intelligence agencies. I want you to come up with a way for me to be able to have a graceful exit rather than for me to resign. Because if he was to resign right now, all of the support that he's garnered from his base, from all over the country, from then on, he would lose all that support. He would lose his entire base, and everybody would just come up to him and say, why did you resign? You're doing so well. Three possibilities that I see for why he would want to resign in the first place. And I predicted about 4 or 5 months ago I thought he was going to resign, but now it makes a lot more sense that he actually asked his people to come up with some type of a plan that could impeach him. The three possibilities for him wanting to do this. One is he never wanted it in the first place. Two is that this is a little bit more deeper, but I believe that the people in position of power that are controlling Trump actually wanted him to go further in terms of war against Iran, starting some type of an apocalyptic scenario, a World War III scenario. And Trump said, I don't want to have this on my consciousness. I don't want this to go down as the president who basically destroyed the world for that matter. The third possibility is that they have came to him and he basically said, okay, I will resign or be impeached and pass it to Mike Pence. Mike Pence is a Christian messianic Zionist who would have no problem pushing for this type of war to occur. And the third possibility is they could come to him and say, well, listen, if you don't resign, or if you don't give your blessing for us to impeach you, we are going to kill you or somebody in your family. And Epstein was probably the sign to him that said, look, we can get to Epstein. He's in jail. Look what we did. That's going to be you either soon, or it's going to be you in jail or whatever. And so we would like your blessing for us to impeach you. And so he said, okay, if that's the way that it's going to be, I want you to set up a situation where I can have plausible deniability, where I can defend myself in the present moment and in the future. So they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to basically allow you to do something that you wouldn't necessarily think is impeachable, but we're going to be able to build a case for impeachment and push the impeachment itself. And so after you're impeached, you can basically go on a ballot and be this leader of the Republican movement, and you can still be Donald Trump, and you can still be, a lot of people are going to be supporting you, and then more or less there'll be two sides to the equation. There'll be the Trumpers versus all the people that are pro-impeachment. But basically, I think that he actually has given his blessing for this. That's because it's all a sham trial. You have people on the intelligence agencies, you have people in the military, you have people in the diplomats corps, you have people in his cabinet. All of these people have built a sham, a conspiracy in itself to remove Donald Trump. And actually, to me, the only way that this could occur is if Donald Trump gave his blessing for this to occur. That's what makes this the next step to the story. This is the true conspiracy to what's going on in Washington at this moment. And people need to wake up to this. Trump actually should be impeached for his complicity in allowing himself to be impeached. That's my main argument. But because he wants to be impeached, he shouldn't be impeached and he should stay in power. That is the grand paradox of this whole system, is that he has been complicit in his own impeachment and has gone with everything that they said, we need you to do this. And basically, one second. Guys, outside, come on, outside, go. Sorry, my dogs were messing around. So basically, the real conspiracy here is that Trump has been complicit in his own impeachment, but he's acting like he didn't know that he was actually being complicit. And everybody knows this. This is the only way that Pelosi or the Democrats would actually go along with the impeachment push, is if they knew they had the ace in the hole, which was Trump himself. We don't know exactly why Trump is going along with this, but I've already said the three reasons: that either he didn't want to be president in the first place, he didn't want to start a global war, or the third thing is they threatened him or his family. Any of those things could be a reason for him to actually go down this route. So basically, what we're seeing right now is a complete concoction or a sham trial in order to give him plausible deniability after his impeachment to continue to be the political figure that he is and to continue to have the trust of the American people. But the American people should not, and especially the people that are supporting Trump, should be very wary that Trump might have been going along with the deep state this entire time. Because if he was a true patriot, if he was truly trying to help this country, he would definitely not be complicit with the way this path is heading. And so if this is the truth and this trial starts to break apart and nothing goes forward, then anything could happen, really. This is their Hail Mary. This is the Hail Mary, basically, that the whole deep state, the whole bureaucracy, the whole government has came up with, that have offered to him, and he said, yes, I'm okay with going about this plan. He was recently at an Israeli, some type of Israeli conference or a Jewish conference, and he was joking around with the people there, and he was saying, it was almost like he knew he was going to be impeached and he wanted to be impeached. And he said, if I get impeached, then I have 98% support in Israel. I can come over there and be the prime minister or the king or whatever. They treated him like a king. And I think that he was joking, but that's really like a potential plan of his. So if Mike Pence, if he's impeached and it goes to Mike Pence, what will happen is Mike Pence will give him immunity. That's what he wants, is immunity from any action that he's done illegally during this time. And so that's the kind of the bigger plan. This is what I believe is the real conspiracy going on, that Trump actually has given his blessing for it, which is very sad to me, because he comes off as this figure he's the savior type figure, the savior of the American people, the American country. And then if he's the one that actually has given his blessing, it is a complete slap to the face to his supporters, to the American population. This country is doing a lot better than it was before he was elected, in any factor that you can think of. There is a massive public awakening. The deep state and the powers that be internationally do not want this to continue, and they realize that the only way that they can stop this path is if Trump's gone. And so Trump said, I'm not going to resign because I'm going to lose all of my support. And he said, I will allow you to try to impeach me, and I'll give my blessing for that. And so this is the real conspiracy, in my opinion, in my analysis, in my inducement and deducement of the situation, that's not being seen. And if you think about it that way, then it makes a lot more sense. I knew from a while William Barr is a slippery snake. A very slippery snake. And I thought, I think that William Barr concocted this plan to actually remove Trump, and he will eventually flip on him. But in reality, I think that Trump and William Barr came up with this plan to go along with, and they just have everybody in place to fulfill this role. Because the trial itself, I was just listening to it, and it is such a sham itself. The only way that people would actually lie about all this is if they were ordered to from the president himself. And so if this trial falls apart and then Trump is allowed to be elected or continue to run, then anything could happen. You could see a major false flag operation. You could even see an assassination on Trump or one of his family members, or an assassination attempt, because they are very finished with this Trump movement and the public awakening. The Epstein trial, or the affair with Epstein, is another major moment in American history, in that the population is waking up and seeing what the Israeli government and intelligence agencies have been allowed to do by the American government and American intelligence agencies, which is this mass manipulation and control through blackmail. And Epstein was the chief blackmailer of so many high-level people in our government. In our population, the entire population and the elites are controlled through this blackmail type situation, and thus this is a huge awakening in the American population of basically what the Israeli government has been doing in the United States for such a long time, and that's why it's important to continue this forward. But if they continue with this conspiracy theory and they continue with Trump's blessing, I think Trump has left himself a way out. I think he's left himself, if he wants to say, okay, at the end of the day, I don't want you to impeach me, then I think he has the ability to flip on this. But then all hell's going to break loose. Really, all hell's going to break loose if that occurs. But the last thing that we want is Mike Pence in there making decisions from a Christian Zionist, messianic perspective, along with Israeli Zionists, to push some type of apocalyptic war, in order for them to control the future narrative, just like the government was able to control the narrative after 9/11. So they want to be able to have a 9/11 type event, except on a global scale, to where they can control that narrative. And so this would be the worst thing that could possibly happen, is if Mike Pence becomes president. Like I said, what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to pass this in the Republican House. They're going to pass it to the Senate, and then the Senate, there's no way from a public vote perspective, along with this evidence, they're going to get 2/3 of the vote. So their goal is to get just enough votes to allow it to be a secret vote, and then after a secret vote, they believe they can get to the 2/3 vote, which means that they have at least 8 to 16 Republican senators. I think it's 8 to 16 Republican senators who they actually have control of enough to be able to flip them in the secret vote to pass this, which is just a sham deal and a sad deal to think about itself. After that would occur, it would go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court would say, yes, he's impeached. It would move to Pence, which just sounds so far-fetched. That's my point, is that the only way that they would be going along with this, if you think about it logically, is if Trump gave his blessing and gave the order to the executive branch to push this idea to the other branches. It basically saves Trump's life and saves some of his family members' lives potentially, and also appeases the Democrat and the global elite strategy. The elites, what they're trying to go with. And so that's my, I would call it a theory, but I think it's the real conspiracy theory behind the impeachment of Donald Trump. So I would like everybody to think about that. It sounds very far-fetched, I know, but it came to me, and that's the way that my mind works, is once you add a new part of the equation into my mind, some type of a solution presents itself, and I can't stop thinking about it until I release it for other people to think about it. So I appreciate it. Thank you for watching this video. God bless America. God bless the world. God bless truth. God bless justice. And let's make it through this situation, and let's stop this this sham trial from occurring. And yes, so peace.